Hi, this is episode 11. Grapholistic Podcast is halfway through, but if it was a different day, so I'm recording now with video, so you might have missed my visual. Anyway, let's go through this. So while talking to you about this, I had just gone through a heartbroken moment for again about someone. I went through the same old process like when I lost someone. So I do not want to talk about it anymore because have gone through this, and I've already got over it for quite some time. But because this is linked to the subject, I decided to just pursue on talking about this with sharing with you about this in case that it might be useful for you. What can I say? Oh yeah, I went through the same old process like when I lost someone. So missing them, wondering whether there is something that could be changed. But then now I am back up again. So attracted to like new people, flirt again with new people, go back to the gym and exercise routine, continue my writing, publishing new books, and also I'm exploring new business ideas to bring myself to that goal that I have been imagining and manifesting since I was 15 years old. If you are experiencing similar situation like mine, you know that within you can handle it. It is whether you want it or not. And it is okay if you feel like crying while listening to Driver's License by Olivia. And it is okay if you feel like crying while listening to Driver's License, or you feel like you need to cry it out while listening to the whole track list of Folklore, thinking about that person again. It is okay to feel like you want to shed tears or keep repeating the song, because frankly all the songs are really a good one. But then on the other hand, at the back of your mind there is something else that you need to do in your life, something more important, a purpose that will make you feel that a purpose that will make you feel the satisfaction that you have been craving for, the value that only you could feel it and you could know the difference, that freedom of choice. How can you start to set your goals? Doesn't matter whether it is for a long term or short term. The first step is for you to ask yourself this question: what do you want for yourself, for your life? This is what you want, not about what others want you to be, not your parents, not your partner. You have to know what you want first, both the destination and what you want to achieve from this journey. Meaning that, for instance, your goal could be to be a CEO of a multinational corporation, or you can also mention exactly the company name that you want. Up to you. Or your goal could be to be the top student in your university or in school. You should be detailed when you say those goals out. If you said you want to be the top student, say it as in first, second, or third. I did mine when I was taking my N-level exam. I said it as top third. So I got a top third. Exactly top 10. Can you imagine if I said I would like to be the first top student? I actually didn't notice the word that I used at that time, top third. For me, top third means 1, 2, 3. The first, second, third. So, but when I said top third, it has been in my mind subconsciously that it is third. So I got the third student, top third student during that time. Or your goal can be the most highly paid artist in your country or the industry, or it could be owning several companies and managing it, or you can say be the richest or be the most well-known artist in the world. Remember there are no limits to your imagination. Your mind can take in anything as abundance as being in the cover of a fashion magazine, or as famous and reputable songwriter. Whatever your goals are, there are no limits. Then remember to say the word successfully, happy, still can feel the freedom of life, healthy in your goals. You have to say or detail it out, those words. Just that you have to say out those words. Just that you have to be detailed and not confused with what you want. So if you need the time to think, take that time to think what you really, really, really want for yourself. Secondly, add in the details, like I mentioned earlier. Like if you want to be a highly paid artist, you want to also be someone who will have the creativity and ideas that will flow smoothly and of many varieties or genres to meet your clients' requirements. If you want to own many companies, add in more details, the type of companies and what it will be doing. Add in your imaginations that mention I want to own a company that is successful with great, credible, and reliable connections and a vast pool of customers with multi-million profits, with reliable and credible employees. You can add in more and more. I realized this is important when there was one time I managed to achieve one of my goals and I realized that I don't want it that way. I had totally overlooked that there were other factors that I should have said and considered. It was my position in the company I used to work in. I was aiming for a salary and a better employer and work environment. And post record again. Ready? Hello? Where was I? It was my position in the company I used to work in. I was aiming for a salary and a better employer and work environment, but I have forgotten to mention the position opportunities. I did manage to achieve the first two, but not the last one. Same goes to when you have a goal to be with a certain type of partner. You have to list it down. List those. You will have to list it down what you want and what you think would fit your personality. I have never tried this before, but I saw 2 videos online of these 2 individuals who did this method. They said that at first they did not have this in hand and they had bad experiences with their exes after that. So they started to list down the characteristics. That is when everything changes. I have not tried this in a relationship because I don't feel like having one at the moment, but I did try this for my workplace 14 years ago before I worked with one of the companies. I said to myself after experiencing working with other companies, I want to work in a company with a better employer, a good boss with good environment and co-workers, and I want to stay for at least 5 years because I don't want to job hop. And I also said that I want to learn and manage many things apart from only one scope of work. So I ended up in that place like what I had wanted. It is like the only company that I enjoyed working in throughout my experiences working. My boss and the co-workers were also good in terms of attitude. Definitely not perfect. Definitely not perfect because I work with humans, but in terms of style of working and attitude, it fits me in some way. When I say fits, means it doesn't mean that if someone is lazy, it is because I am lazy too. What I meant is if someone is not meeting the company's expectation in performance, I will be I am there to highlight it to them, and they are open to listen and change accordingly for the purpose of or for the advantage of the company, something like that. And if ever we argue because of different perspective at work, it does not affect us personally. After the arguments in the meeting, we will be back to usual. So, well, I worked for there for 13 years. And when I left to pursue my new goals, I left in good terms and is still in good relationship with everyone. So was what I meant by details. Recently, I watched a video of someone who said about setting goals, but his advice was not to be too focused on how to get there because it will restrict the journey. Like, probably if there are other better options, we will not be swayed towards that option. These two I would like to add in as a good guide for you when setting goals. Let the journey brings you to your goals. Sometimes it could be so easy that you will not expect it. But remember to say what you really need to. The third point is to add in the emotions to your goals, meaning that you have to remind yourself that you are now happy and still want to be happy or be happier when you achieve those targets. Remember that you have to first feel grateful of what you have in the present. Then when you achieve those goals you have in mind, you will still be satisfied, happy, healthy, and still feel the freedom of your life and anything that you are still pursuing. And for the fourth point, every time you have achieved something, remember to keep yourself grounded, which means you have to be self-aware that you have got what you wanted. You will have to remind yourself to be satisfied, grateful, and appreciate those accomplishments. Because if you don't, you will notice that you will not feel anything. And this will happen. And sometimes you might not even be satisfied with it when those are actually what you had asked for. So when you experience those moments, stay in the present, look around, let yourself look around you, let yourself feel the environment, feel that moment, observe the people surrounding you, and feel everything. Like if you finally graduated from your master's degree or bachelor degree or PhD, be self-aware that you are already holding that certification. Self-reflect with flashbacks of the journey you had gone through to achieve that diploma or that degree. From the day you applied the course, how you had made the decisions to submit the registration, the moment you went for an interview with the professor, the day you received an email confirmation that you were accepted into the admission, the orientation day when you meet your classmates for the first time, the feelings you had, how anxious and nervous you were to say hi to those classmates of yours, your first day in lecture, looking around to that massive lecture hall, wondering whether you can make it to the end. Those days and nights you have to stay awake and spend time to write your reports, did research, discuss with your classmates and group mates for projects, the hardships that you had to go through to express your ideas and thoughts to your group mates, the patience that you have to deal with yourself managing your classmates and group mates, the wonderful moments when you get to see your classmates and lecturers and share your thoughts, the new relationships you build throughout the months you spent with your classmates, and then feel the feelings and your thoughts when you receive your grades for every modules you had successfully completed. The grades that define your success, your hard works, effort, and patience. And then when you finally hold that certificate on the stage with your classmates, what do you feel? When you finally accomplish and holding that certificate, the one that you have been aiming for since you were 15 years old, 27 years later or 20 years later, you got to hold it in your hands. Feel it. I have simplified this process because to set goals and implementing it is not complicated. It is more like plan and then take action. Provided you do take action. If not, no one can help you. Only you can help yourself achieve those. And this goal setting process not only applies for cases like I mentioned earlier, it applies to simple goals like going through your day-to-day activities, like going out like as simple as going out for a date with your crush, the plans that you had made to make her or him have a wonderful time with you. It applies to planning for your vacation trips and anything that you think is a goal for you. Setting goals is manifesting your imagination. You have to seed it when you were young, like if you are in your teenage years. If you're not in your teens now, seed it right away, whatever your age is now. There is no limit to this. All these factors are not important, and it doesn't define whether you will accomplish it or not. As long as you plant the seed to grow your imagination and goals, you will be surprised to see how it will turn out later. When you find something is lacking in you, be aware of it and do something to it. I can assure you, because it works out for me and those people I had talked to, I am a human like you are. We are built the same, only at different times, sent to a different location, and at different situations. And our only differences are our inclinations and personality. Whenever there is this excuse seeping into your brain, wherever it is coming from, shut it down immediately. Remember the situations I mentioned in previous episode when I wanted to be like my friend who speaks and writes so fluently in English, and then I accidentally saw her psychologist thesis and the way she writes. I learned to write with better, interesting sentences with A grades after I set her as my model and goal. See how it all flows. I wanted to change and improve, and automatically it happens. This happened in less than a week, if I remember correctly. Achieving your goals or targets doesn't even take months or years sometimes. What I meant by a week means it happens in a week, but to grow, it takes months and years. And many times, this will materialize without you expecting anything. At times, whenever you feel like giving up or disappointed or wondering whether the choices you had made are right, you will meet with a stranger or anyone you don't even know who will smile and then talk to you about his or her day. And by coincidence, he or she will chat with you exactly about the same problem you are experiencing, how to deal with it, and then within minutes, you will come back up again and forget about about all those worries and bad memories, and this time you have to move forward to what you are aiming for. This will happen because you have set it in your mind, that thing that you wanted, that imagination that you have in your mind. And for me, I believe in the power of the energy surrounding me, and for me, I know God will help me when I need it. And I know that because I keep telling myself and imagining the same thing, that it became like an automatic reflex. Before I end this episode, remember to ask yourself, what are you looking forward to today to complete? And if you have ever set and achieved your goals all this while, have you taken the time to sit and reflect on your journey and ask yourself how you feel about it? I hope that if today you are not feeling as good as yesterday, by listening to this podcast, I hope it will make your day better. See you in the next episode. Bye bye. To watch this recorded podcast and any videos related to building self-esteem and the science of handwriting analysis, you can visit our YouTube channel, Grapholistic International, or visit www.grapholistic.com to get your handwriting analyzed. Check the package options available from our website. Thanks, bye-bye. Hope it works. Sometimes we have to check the video to amplify the sound. Okay, background is good. Okay, good. This morning, 7:36 a.m. I came here around 6 o'clock. I reached around 6:15 to record a video for my secondary school 40th anniversary, requested by my old school teacher. Requested by my school teacher. I came here in my office alone so that it will be quieter. No one is around. I hope no one is around or sleeping. Okay, I need to record the next episode.